Hey guys, well, congratulations. You've done pretty much most of my introduction videos to Python, and now's the time. Your quest is due. We're going to get you to create a text-based adventure game, okay? And the theme of this adventure game can be anything you want. You know, it could be a sci-fi, it could be a horror, it could be a love story. My one I'm going to do is your sort of typical Dungeons and Dragons type sort of adventure game with goblins and dragons and stuff like that. Okay, but you know these days computer games, the more successful ones, are more kind of weird and wonderful, and often cover different topics and stories. Not just your typical horror or love stories or fantasy, but you know sometimes there's ones to do with a journey. You know, like a child on a journey, growing older, or it can be, you know, I was playing one the other day and it's about a little wispy character that's travelling around an enchanted forest and is meeting lots of enchanted type sort of animal characters and stuff. So very fairy tale-ish as well. But once again, you know, the theme can be whatever you want it to be. The key thing I'm looking for is you're going to demonstrate all those skills that we've been through over this course of lessons, and sort of demonstrating them and really having an enjoyable time creating a wonderful world of your own, your little baby, and using those skills to sort of control how a player plays your game. Okay, this is similar to games like Zork, if you've ever played that. That's an adventure game. It's text-based, okay? Now, I've built one. It's not finished. It's just really the start of something. But it has the skills that you would need to show. And I've got comments in the code, so it will help you understand how to do certain things that you might want to do in your games, okay? So I'm going to go through this code now. And then leave it for you to try and start building your own games. Okay, so let me just run this and you can see what's going on. Okay, so I think my code's here, sort of hiding it a little bit, so I can move that over like that. So yeah, got text that comes on at the start here, and yeah, I've transported to somewhere. I've got some options, so I can go north, south, east, or west. So I've sort of tried to show them that you need to type 1, 2, 3, or 4. But you know, for instance, if I put in N for north, you know. So I've got give me a number for your direction. So I might go wrong again. South. Okay. All right. Yeah, number. Okay. So I'm going to go 1. Okay. Okay. You find an enchanted signal. Do you want to pick it up? Yes. So I'm going to put a small y there. Okay. But you probably thought or realised. Yeah. Okay. So I've picked up a stick. I've put it in my backpack. Okay, but I've come to a dead end. Okay, and I'm back to the start again. Okay, so I return back to the start. All right, well, this is quite cool. So, all right, instead of going north, because that didn't go anywhere, let's go south. So I'm going to press 2. Okay, so what's in the, what? Okay, like I say, it can be as weird as wonderful as you want. Okay, so do you have an enchanted stick to show Vic? He sneaks a peek inside your backpack. Marvellous. So this is my code, okay? You might start working out, it's checking to see if I had the stick in my backpack, okay? So if I didn't have the stick, this wouldn't have occurred, okay? Okay, suddenly a dragon jumps out. What do you want to do? Oh, I don't know, kill it. Okay. Oh, okay, we're back to the start again. Okay, so like I say, it's just the start, a skeleton really of getting going with my game at the moment. So this I will put as a link underneath this video. I love doing that, seen it so many times before. Anyway, so just going through the code. This is how you should structure your games. Okay, you always put at the top any libraries you're going to import. So we've been through previous lessons time. Okay, we can use that. I used it to create pauses in my game. That's quite important. You don't want all the text flying in. All right, it becomes a bit difficult. And when you pause time as well, it makes you feel like you are truly interacting with a proper game. It's not just throwing stuff at you. Okay, so that's quite cool. random. Okay, I use that actually to. I've got a list here that I created monsters. Okay, and actually towards the end of my game, you saw that there was a dragon jumps out. Well, I've got a bit of code that randomly chooses a monster from my list here, and it will appear in the game. Now that's good because every time you play the game, a different monster might come out. Okay, and we can do things like ifs. Well, if the monster was a dragon, we might have a different sort of way of playing the game. If it was a spider, it might poison me. So, this is something that can create a lot more interest in the game by choosing a random monster from my list. I've also got this import OS. I'm going to show you in a minute what that does, but it's further down there. So we should always create variables that we might need, lists that we might need. We then put them underneath the libraries. Okay, this is good common techniques. If you don't structure your code like this, you're quite likely to have problems. Okay, so you create your lists and any variables you might require. As I've done here, I've got my accumulator, my lists here, my backpack. Okay, so this is something we did quite a long time ago when we were doing Python Turtle. And this is defining functions. And this is really key to keeping your code tidy, okay? And for your games to work properly. You will have problems, okay, if you don't do this. So, this is something I would give extra marks for as well, using functions. So what I did is, the start of my game, in actual fact, I define it as a function. Okay, I do def and then start. All right, and basically this function start, it's like a mini program. Okay, it contains all this code underneath. All right, so it prints out introduction to my game. Okay, this stuff here. All right, and then the first question, whether you go north, south, east, or west, is here. As we covered in while loops, okay, in the previous lesson, I've set a Boolean variable here and set it to true, okay, and this controls the while loop below. So while their answer is equal to true, well, it is to start off with, okay, all right, we're going to get input, so they've been given the choice of whether to go 1, 2, 3, or 4 for north, south, east, or west, okay, so whatever they type in goes in choice. And if choice is equal to 1, it's going to run a function called north. All right, and that's actually down here. You can see it's highlighted when I highlight it here. So this is a function down here I create called north. All right, and that will run that mini program here. Everything underneath here, okay, will run if they choose 1. Okay, and then I set the answer to equal false. So this loop will then stop occurring. Okay, so while answer is equal to true, it will keep asking for these things here. But I need to make sure I set answer equal to false, so it will kick me out of the loop when they have made the choice. And you can see down here, okay, this is if they didn't choose 1, 2, 3, or 4, as I showed you in the example. My else is, have you gone mad? Give me a number for your direction. And so it will keep asking for input. It will keep doing this. Okay, and we'll keep having to try and put in a number. All right, and you'll see that whatever number I put in, it's going to run that function like east or west. And each one of these, north, south, east, and west, are going to run either this function for north or that code under there, or I have another one here, a function called south. Okay, so if they go back up here, all right, if they chose 2, they chose south, okay, if they chose 2 to go south, it will run the mini program south. So that means it runs all this code here. And I can use these functions cleverly because, like, if they did go, north, if you remember when I chose north, okay, I managed to pick up the stick. Look at that in just a second. But at the end of it, okay, I came to a dead end. The only route is the way back. So I have to turn around. I go, I've got a bit of pausing going on here. Okay, little pauses. Time sleep. This bit of code, you can just copy and paste this. What this does, okay, clears the screen of all the text on the side here. So this is quite good otherwise you're going to have a lot of text here. It becomes really difficult to look at. So this clears it, and you just copy and paste that code. But you can see here, start. So what this does is I get to the end here, and it will go clear the screen, and then it will go back to start. It's going to run start again. So it's going to run this function. Okay, so I have to go back to the start. Okay, so quite a lot going on. Other things I've got in here. Yeah, this is my stick. Did I want to pick it up? Okay, my answer is equal to yes. I add the stick to my backpack. Okay, append stick backpack. That's my list. That will add it into there as well. What other things have we got? This is where it checks to see if I had the stick in my backpack. So I used a for loop. Okay, for counting range, a variable called count that starts at 0, and it's going to loop all the way. It's going to loop as many times as the length of the backpack. That's what this len backpack, however long the backpack is, how many indexes it has, how many items it has inside it. It will tell you and put that number in there. Okay, so the number. If I've got 5 items in my backpack, okay, the length of the backpack will be 5, and that will go in there. And if backpack count, so remember it starts at 0, so if backpack, the first index of the backpack has a stick in it, okay, all right, and it will go more south, so it's going to continue going south, another function I've created. And it will keep looping through my backpack, each index checking to see if there's a stick in it, all right. Now if there isn't a stick, that will never run. And then this does run, and I return back to the start, as you can see here. All right, so if I don't pick up the stick, I can't carry on the quest. I haven't done anything for east. I just printed east at the moment and west because I'm time consuming to build this game much further, but this is for you to try and see if you can continue and make yours obviously a lot more interesting. And finally here's my random monster. So I've got a variable called new monster index, okay? It equals a random number, random.randint will choose a random number between 0, okay, and the length of my monsters list, -1. So why do we do that? Well, why -1? Well, just to remember, okay, is our list, if we have 5 monsters in our list, okay, we want it to choose a number between 0 and 4, because remember, the first index is 0, okay? And then the last index, if we have 5 items in it, the last index will be 4. I know that's a bit weird, but that's how computers count. And so that's why we use -1. So what this will do is, if my monsters list has 5 items in, it will go from 0 to 4. And then I print out, okay, a thing, suddenly A, and that's the item, okay, monsters, a new monster index, so that's the number. You get a random number between 0 and 4. Monsters, whatever random number that is between 0 and 4, so it might be a dragon, okay, will jump out at you, or it might choose a spider, okay, just to remind you, that is that list there. So just to remind you, that's index 0, that's index 1, index 2, and index 3, okay, so there's 4 items in here, all right, but the indexes where they belong, okay, is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so like I said, code's in the video below this video. Okay, so you can use my code as a starting point. Obviously, relate to it. Okay, for help, and that you can see in the comments there. But please, you must structure it, okay, using functions like this, all right? Because otherwise you're going to have problems with it working and really difficulty, especially when you have these indents each time. Remember, when you define a function, just like anytime you put 2 dots, the colon afterwards, okay, there, and whatever belongs to the function is indented, all right? And that's really key. Just like you would for a while loop, everything is indented, okay, that belongs to it, and an if, all right, like this here, okay? So use functions, okay? Remember the marks, or I've got a mark scheme that I will give you as well, but you know, you're going to get, you know, using lists, using variables, different data types, using lists, for loops, while loops, okay, and an accumulator maybe for your experience points for doing different things. You can get extra points each time, okay. Those are the things I'm looking for you to display in your games, okay. And yeah, be creative, okay, make them fun, all right. One of the best things for me, okay, is I love marking these, okay. It do take me a long time when you've actually created them, all right, but I do enjoy playing them and then, seeing how creative some of you are, all right. This is a chance for you to be storytellers and programmers, and that's really important in today's computer game industry, okay. Storytellers, designers, and coders, they all contribute together to create these amazing games that many of you play. Okay, good luck, guys. All right, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.